Welcome to Talk Too Late. This is our December episode of the show in which we talk about games from 2 years ago. I'm joined, as usual, if you follow the previous episodes, I'm joined by Mik.
Hi guys, forgot to turn on the Christmas light, it's December.
Yeah, turn on the Christmas lights, why not? And Prosil.
Hey guys, this is Prosil and it's Christmas.
Yes. Before we wish you all a Merry Christmas, we're just gonna go over what we do. We talk about games from 2 years ago, and today in this episode we're looking at games from December 2018, and we're just gonna talk about the experiences that we've had, what we know and what we don't know about these titles. And I'm joined by these two video game experts and streamers, and we're just gonna discuss what we think about these games. I have to say, December 2018 didn't hold a lot of surprises. I'm gonna go over the release schedule that you can see here. You have the usual winners. So Gwent, the Witcher card game, which was a good game. Just Cause 4 is more interesting because just this week it has been announced that Just Cause 4 is the PlayStation Plus free game of the month. So there you go. It's not the first time that a game from exactly 2 years before gets added to the PlayStation Plus. I think it has happened.
Are they copying us?
Maybe they are taking
They're onto something.
They're taking like a leaf from us. They're taking it. I don't know. I haven't played Just Cause 3. I did play Just Cause 2. And I skipped 3 because it looked like whatever. And I was keen on playing Just Cause 4 because I was like, maybe they improved overall, but it seems to be just another simple Just Cause. I loved the game was fun, but the enemies were so stupid in this game. Like, seriously stupid. Like you could do nothing.
It's a stupid game.
It's okay.
It's funny,
it's okay to have stupid games. I mean, it's not like GTA is clever, but.
Nope.
But these enemies, they have no intelligence whatsoever. They're literally there to get shot, and so it's almost.
And there's a lot of enemies. I think that's why they're so dumb.
And so yeah, and I'm here to say that now that I'm here to see now that the critical response hasn't been very generous with the game. So I will probably try it because it's a PlayStation Plus game and I have PlayStation Plus, but I may not play it for more than 5 minutes, it seems. Shame, because after all, Just Cause 2 was kind of fun. The map has always a lot of variety, or it used to have for Just Cause 2, so I was hoping this would be fun. I don't know, maybe it is. I'll try to give it a shot. Do you guys have any history with Just Cause?
Nope. You can do a lot of things. You can fly and shoot a lot. That's all I know.
It's funny because you can traverse the map with this sort of combination of the hook and the parachute. And in this game, instead of the usual parachute that you can use, you also have a special wingsuit, so you can sort of float and glide around. And so that I'm kind of curious with that. So anyway,
I played the third one and it's a very funny game. I think it's a GTA but with a more destructive spirit. And I would recommend playing the third one. I don't know about the fourth one though.
Okay.
Seems like they didn't add anything to the pie.
Yeah, it's just a little bit more crazy, but yeah,
I think that one
thing.
notable addition was this sort of environmental and weather event. So you would have like storms and tornadoes and special things that would happen. Let's see if I can get a shot of it. Basically, yes, there would be like I don't know.
Yeah, the weather. That's
weather stuff.
They could have patched it in Just Cause 3, I think. But
maybe.
Cool.
Maybe. Oh, there you go. So you see, it's just yeah, whatever's. You get tornadoes like that.
It's raiding sharks.
It's bad. It's just whatever. Really not very interesting. But I will give it a shot. I will let you know if you guys follow my own stream on my Twitch channel, which you can find at twitch.tv. Eurogamer.com doesn't use score numbers, so they just say that whatever. I don't know. I haven't read the whole article, but if you go over the Wikipedia page, the reception of the scores, they have been overall pretty condemning. Just 6 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10. It seems to be
it's an average
a modest
average
game. But yeah, PlayStation 4 version sold 16,000 copies in the first week in Japan. Okay. But yeah, I don't know overall figures of the game. I'm not gonna research. Don't really care. But yeah, that's I am sure that they're gonna make a new game anyway.
Yeah, sure.
They're surely gonna make a new game.
Prediction is not going to be called Just Cause 6. It's going to be called Just Cause More Causes, or like a subtitle.
Just cause
more.
Anyway, if we look at the release schedules of 2 years ago, we got Monster Boy and the Crusade Kingdom, which is a platform in the style of old platformers, which reviewed much better than Just Cause 4.
Oh.
And we got the Persona games, Dancing in Moonlight, Dancing All Night, and Dancing in Starlight. These are rhythm games from the Persona team and with the Persona branding. Moving forward, really, there is the Last Remnant Remastered. The Last Remnant Remastered is basically a sort of undervalued JRPG from Square Enix that came out as an exclusive for Xbox 360. Do you guys remember when Xbox 360 used to do exclusives? Well, to try and appeal to Japan, they said, let's try to hire Square Enix to make a proper JRPG for Microsoft Xbox. And they did, and the result was this game, which, was considered a pretty good game, decent, and then it disappeared for a long time, as you can imagine. And then 2 years ago, they obviously made a nice port to PlayStation 4 with some additions, improved graphic, etc. Not much to say. I may play one of these days.
It sounds like you.
Yeah, the other big title, yeah, right. The other big title I think was probably Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on Nintendo Switch.
That was big.
Which obviously made a splash. I mean, this game, I haven't played it. I never really played it, but it got nominated. It got 9 out of 10 across the board. It sold crazy numbers. And the crazy thing about Smash is that not only all these awards that it won, I'm talking about a lot of awards and nominees once, but just generally it's a game that carries on for years. It's strange how
they're still playing the Nintendo 64 one
yeah,
a
of
lot,
course, and
competitively.
so it's a game that received over the years a lot of extra content, so that's gonna keep going.
Also, it's gonna be probably the last Smash Bros. Again.
Who knows?
Like the guy that says every time says it's the last one. So.
Yeah. Well, it's called Ultimate, so who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, Amazon in January reported that Ultimate was their highest selling video game of 2018. Now, that's crazy because it came out in December, and that was the most sold game of 2018. So in 1 month, they pretty much sold something like 12 million copies. That's pretty impressive. And in the rest of
it won against Pokemon.
It's crazy, right?
I don't feel being surpassed by Pokemon 1.
Okay, and in the following 1 year and a half, almost, it ended up selling some more 8 million copies, arriving to 21 million copies in September. And yeah, that's gonna keep selling slowly, I guess, over time.
Sure. Well, yeah.
Anyway, I don't know if this is a PC game that came out. It's DayZ.
Sure.
Right. Mick, did you play this?
Huge. I've played this very, very long time ago.
Okay.
On PC. This is it was born as a mod for Arma 2, I think it was?
Yeah, something like that.
It's a cluster of stuff happening. It's one of the last remnant of those zombie survival games that they put up there. Nobody likes them anymore. There's still a huge community out there that's very dedicated to it, but it's I think it's time to put it to rest, this game and all.
Yeah.
This kind of survival games.
Was it really a survival game?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay.
I mean, you're alone in this server and you need to survive.
Cool. Okay, last noticeable and noteworthy game of the month was Judgement. Judgement is basically a new IP taken from the assets and the game mechanics of the Yakuza games. I didn't even bother to play this game because
Why?
I don't wanna have another story that is sort of overlapping the not too much. I don't have a problem with the story, but it's just the same gameplay. And I'd rather play a Yakuza game than play detective game with some new guy. You know what? I really would have liked if they had made something like a City Hunter game, the manga and City Hunter game with
Yakuza engine.
The Yakuza engine, with the Yakuza settings. Wow. Instead, they created this new kind of City Hunter character that is an investigator, and then he ends up entangled in whatever crazy plot the Yakuza team comes up with.
I want to play this.
It's actually been well received as far as I understand. It was received with 37 out of 40, 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Pretty modest, but
there was a scandal in Japan because the person portraying the character was investigated for drug, condemned for drug, and they removed it from the game last minute.
Yeah, really?
The game was delayed or retired from.
Wait, doesn't the other game talk about a mafia?
Yes, I know. It's a bit of a strange. It's a bit of a strange logic, but basically,
really,
what has happened is that we have to explain a bit from the pretext. The situation is that the actor that features in the game is super famous in Japan. We're talking about Takuya Kimura. This guy it was just a celebrity. He's done a lot of things in Japan, right? And then he ended up landing, his likeness for this game. The game comes out, physical copies pressed, everything like that. And if you know anything about Japan, you will know that the concept of drugs is super taboo. Like if you get caught with drugs, like not heroin, like even just a spliff, even just a joint, you go to jail straight. Like you're done forever.
Went to jail because of that in Japan.
So it's not to be taken lightly. And what has happened is that he got caught with whatever little tiny amount of substance, and his life was over pretty much. And Sega not only apologized for the fact that he was in the game that was already out, but they went to the extent of releasing a patch that changed the game so that he wasn't in the game. And they pulled physical copies of the game. They were called back and they had to reprint new copies of the physical games. As you can imagine, those initial Japanese copies with the original face are now collectible items.
Sure, yeah.
Which unfortunately I don't have, and I should have.
But in Yakuza, don't you ever have to deal with drugs in the Yakuza games? I don't know.
Strangely enough, in Yakuza game, you deal a lot with corruption. You deal a lot with estate development, corruption. You deal a lot with fraud. You deal a lot with, let's say, exploitation of women, prostitution, people who are weak in all kind of forms, and other crimes. But the drug situation is not really in the spotlight ever. And it's strange, but really is the concept of drug really is taboo. And I think that even the real Yakuza Mafia don't really make a lot of money out of drugs, because that's considered a bit more dirty than, let's say, prostitution, which is kind of considered okay.
It would probably like hurt people that, deal with drugs in the streets.
They don't want that shit.
Yeah.
Or at least that's
noble,
kind of the face that they keep.
Yeah. It's their nation. They don't want to ruin it or ruin kids with drugs. It's kind of noble if it's true. First.
Yeah. So basically
Interesting.
Oh, sorry. The Takuya Kimura he was kind of the replacement. The original actor on it was Pierre Taki. Anyway, long story short, this is what has happened 2 years ago. It was pretty crazy situation for a company as big as Sega to find themselves in.
I had no idea about this.
That's a crazy story. But you know what else is crazy? I have collected a couple of articles from 2 years ago. Imagine that 2 years ago, Neymar, like one of the biggest football players.
Who?
Exactly. He was awarded the Golden Ball. Okay? And instead of going to play the Golden Ball, he stayed on Twitch and played.
Twitch?
Yes, he was on Twitch because he has a Twitch channel. And he was obviously being watched by millions of people, almost.
And his webcam is flipped on the wrong side.
He is Neymar. He can do that, okay?
He can do that. He's watching the wall while streaming.
Yes. So yeah, that's what he was doing, and this is what was going on while he was supposed to be receiving a really sought after award, which is pretty big. And I don't think he won another one after those, but there you go. That's what happened. Pretty little interesting article of pop culture. And speaking of pop culture, another article again from exactly 2 years ago. This is an article from Kotaku that talks about how figure skaters, they are starting to reference video games inside their routines, and they use video game music or video game costumes or video games figures and whatever. And so I just wanted to bring this up with you guys because we've seen how video games is becoming part of pop culture, and how for example, football players, when they score, they celebrate with like moves from Fortnite and other games like this. So I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts on this? What do you think? Are you gonna find yourselves one day with your, don't you like it that we have famous people playing video games? This is sort of tied to the fact that recently PlayStation 5 came out, and PlayStation 5 was sent to so many influencers. Some of them were gamers, some of them really weren't gamers at all. But I wanted to ask you guys, which are quite old, just like me, you remember the times when video games were a niche thing, and now they're really pop. And how do you feel about that?
It's weird. It's very. If I may go first, it's very weird. We're seeing it on Twitch with a lot of famous. I doubt nobody, but I'm sure that 15 years ago, Sasha Grey would have just laughed at somebody playing Skyrim, but she loves it now, and I don't think she's faking it. A lot of people that I don't think were into video games some years ago now have discovered the meta, have discovered the media, and how really good it is.
Like your favorite director coming out as a fan of Assassin's Creed,
and a lot of other games I discovered.
Oh yeah,
I was blown out. Yeah, Burnley Carpenter has played almost more games than I do. He plays modern games. He played older games. Many cinematics games like Red Dead Redemption he played and loved. James Gunn is an avid video gamer.
It's nice, but it's kind of also not nice. It's kind of weird to see that people are so immersed in the pop culture side of video games that it's almost something that is no longer intimate for you.
True,
like,
but it
kind of makes you feel old.
But I really fell in love with books 10 years ago, and I know people instead started reading books when they were 4, and should they be mad at me because now I love books? It seems unfair. So yeah, it kind of robs us of that intimacy, and I'm sure we're gonna find another kind of intimacy. I play D&D. Not a lot of people play D&D, even though it exploded in these 2 years. We're just a little bit jealous and gatekeeping, and I get it. It's normal. We're humans, currently.
There is this aspect of gatekeeping.
Changed. I think the industry has changed. The games have changed. They're not playing a game now is not what it was before. It's less frustrating. You've got autosaves, you got engagement, you got realism, you got 3D. And I think the biggest change occurred when PS1 was there, when you got real names of football players in the team, when you got real dynamics, real physics. But especially I think autosaves revolution the video games era. I was playing Zelda Link's Awakening recently, and I realized how hard and frustrating was play a game like that, where the riddles and the way the game is built and the level design is so old that you say, why is this game supposed to be that way? And it's very frustrating.
Yeah, definitely. It shifted. The media changed so much, and now many people could have enjoyed it 10 years ago as well. Maybe not this many, though. I totally agree.
But don't you guys think that at some point soon we're gonna start getting fed up with having all sorts of celebrities that are really far removed from video games arrive on Twitch and bringing over their own audience, and all of a sudden you have, oh look, this guy's also on Twitch, and this guy's also on Twitch, and this guy's also on Twitch, pretending to get there because they will be following the audience. They will be trying to get themselves exposed to whatever new audience they'll be trying to chase. And don't you think it's gonna soon get to the point where it will no longer feel genuine, like no longer a genuine evolution of the market and the audience, and rather just a matter of, hey, I need to go and get myself out there, and because this is what people do now, they create content, and
it's like that already. It's you can't stop it. It's like that, and then the audience will select by itself. I think maybe we are in the best video games period of all times, and this has ups and downs. Of course, costs have been reduced and go better games, bigger games, but then there are the downsides of it, like celebrity playing things they don't care or whatever. But I think it will settle itself. It's just maybe now it's the exposure to the industry is a bit too much.
In one of our previous episodes, we talked about the hypocrisy of video game fans and workers and the press, journalists, when it comes to the topic of crunch and the industry working conditions. 2 years ago, there was this nice article in December that followed up on that conversation and talked about how games workers unite, the sort of new union, was going to go and fight for better working conditions or whatever, try to get people to unite, try to fight certain exploitations of workers, such as 0-hour contracts and other challenging work frames. I just wanted to bring this up because 2 years have passed and nothing has happened. And we finished the segment just by mentioning how 2 years ago Epic was launching the Epic Store. In these 2 years, they managed to attract quite a lot of developers. They've given free games because they have so much money that it doesn't matter. And here are a couple of articles that you can go and find out. I just want to stop this segment here and invite you guys to follow us again on YouTube, and because the next one will probably be the last episode for quite a while, But before, we have a special segment to talk about the hardware that came out 2 years ago. It was a special hardware. It was the PlayStation Classic. We're gonna talk about this in a separate segment, another special segment where we talk about PlayStation Classic and our wish list for a PlayStation 2 Classic. But before we do that, I want you guys to give your coordinates so people can find you, and you can say your final notes and whatever. I'll leave it to you.
Prosil?
Okay, you can find me at Prosil You Play Too Much, twitch.tv/Prosil You Play Too Much. The channel is about completionist and hardcore playing games. Don't have any much more to say.
Cool, that's it. We're gonna finish by saying that you have successfully accomplished your mission of obtaining 100 platinums by the end of the year. Congratulations.
Indeed, I did. Awesome.
Congratulations. Mik?
You can find me on twitch.tv/MikMayo. I stream every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. We're currently going into a spree of new games. Almost a new game every 2 or 3 streams. Currently playing Dark Souls, the first one, the remastered HD, which is terrible. Runs terrible, looks terrible. It's very terrible.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know why.
You finished Alien Isolation last time.
I finished Alien Isolation very recently. It's a beautiful game, but it's a very repetitive game, and it's long as hell. Yeah. Although in Dark Souls we're doing this kind of a challenge in which every time I find a new weapon, I must equip it. Doesn't matter if it's a shield, doesn't matter if I can't use it, because I don't have the stats. It's a nightmare. But it's fun.
Interesting nightmare. As for me, this is Game Too Late, and you've watched the Talk Too Late show. You can find me anywhere on the internet, on Twitch, on YouTube, and really anywhere. I just want to conclude this by thanking my 2 guests and inviting you guys to check out our next episode because you don't want to miss it. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye bye.